There we go. Have a beautiful Monday. Thank you for being here at Rotary today. My name is Harrison Turner. I'm serving as the president of the Raleigh this year. To our longtime members, thank you so much for being here on Monday. Staying inside instead of being outside. And to our guests, thank you for being here. If we get the better a little bit in and out, that's okay. Thank you guys for being here today. I hope that you find today a quick overview of what Rotary is all about, all the work that we're doing in the community, and how we're engaged. We would love for you to be engaged with us as we try to add value to our communities and living a life of service above self. Real quick, say thank you to Jennifer because of this beautiful, what is this thing called?
Background.
Backdrop, I want to call it backdrop. Rotary Club of Raleigh, hopefully it helps with our online presence as well as we take pictures for social media presence and whatnot. So thank you so much. Reminder to everybody, QR code, if you have not scanned your QR to get for free parking for the next 3 hours, please do so. I know you do not want to get a letter in the mail by Wednesday showing that you were parking. Now, we're going to have John come up for our invocation and our pledge. John.
Thank you, President Chair. Meeting is called to order. Always not just. All right, let's say the invocation. Good afternoon, Rotarians and friends. As we gather today in fellowship and shared purpose, we pause to give thanks for the opportunity to serve, to lead, and to grow together. We are especially grateful to welcome Tom Lamont, Director of Community Engagement for the Boys and Girls Homes of North Carolina, a place of hope and healing for children in need. His work reminds us of the profound difference we can make when we care deeply and act boldly. Let us carry forward Rotary's call to unite for good, joining hands and hearts across our communities to lift up the vulnerable, to inspire the young, and to build a future that reflects our highest values. May today's conversation strengthen our commitment to service, deepen our compassion, and remind us that together we can truly make a difference. Amen.
And
Be stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America, land that stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America. My home, sweet home.
ROTARY, Axville's Rotary.
thank you so much, John. Appreciate that wonderful invitation. And yes, and we're extremely excited to hear from our speakers today and the good work they're doing in the community and in our state itself. Next, we have introduction. Yes, Tommy, if you will do us the honor of coming up and in introducing our guests. Guests, we're going to come around the room. We'd love to hear your name, what you do, and what brought you to Rotary.
Excellent. Thank you to everybody that's here today, whether you're a guest or a Rotarian, but let's get to know some of these guests, make them feel at home. If you see a guest that you'd like to hear from further, make sure that we connect. I'm gonna start. Sorry, Frank. All right, so get me, come on.
Sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Will Palmer. If you want to get to know me further, it's KP. Short. I am a part of Always Mentor of Morrisville, so I'm on behalf of not just the BPC, but we do support my practice. I was meeting Jennifer this Saturday at our Jam Pro event, and she introduced me to the Rotary. She said I should check it guys out. It's loving, welcoming, my family. That's the problem. And quick note, we do open our practice August 15th, and if you're looking for a new business, go for you, stop by, shake my hand, and talk further. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael D. Russo, calling Mike. I met Erickson in Lamont and they called the other week. Invited me down to the meeting. I've been enrolled for about 2 years, we just kind of found out about her something and said they kind of connect with everybody. So we're meeting them soon.
Hey, I'm Mike Burnett, I'm with Super Bowl Organization. And I want to invite you here. Back down, see what's all about.
John's been waiting patiently as I skipped him on the first round by accident. John, come on up, tell us about yourself.
My name is Lamont. I've practiced law for over 50 years. That guy that almost got over it. I'm the guest of Bob. And they, as we both been in baseball place about 6 months ago, somewhere around there. I used to be a member here, but after 20 years ago, we used to meet at the convention, so remember that. Some of you probably do. But I'm enjoying, renewing old acquaintances and I'm sure I enjoy being in the meeting like this. Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Alex Gary. I'm case management consultant at Boys and Girls Homes in North Carolina, Lake Walk. I'm over at Rotary Cottage. Just to give you a little idea of our day-to-day, we actually implement the teaching family model, which is it's a good system that we have that gives our residents the skills for the future. Really trying to help them out and maybe strengthen some of those skills that they haven't acquired so far in their life. And really, we got a great group of kids, and one of our right here, I will introduce Q.
Hello, my name is Q.
And you'll hear more from Q in just a minute. He's not as bashful as he usually sounds. Great young man. My name is Tom Lamont. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for Boys and Girls Homes. Thank you for inviting us to be here today to give you an update on what we're doing in Lake Walkmall at Boys and Girls Homes and all of the services that we provide. It's not just residential today, like it used to be back in the day when it was Boys Home. This is a residential home for boys. It has changed so much, and I hope to inspire you to learn more about it today.
Very pleased to have the gentleman here. Have we missed everybody today? Is everybody going once, going twice? Harrison, not you?
Whoa.
Did we?
Oh, we did something.
Thank you for letting me know.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Dan Daniel, I'm a repeat visitor, member of the Wilmington Breakfast Rotary Club. My wife and I just moved back to Raleigh. Actually tried to join this club in 2001, back when they had membership categories. And for 4 years in a row, I got shut out. It was entirely Mike Condry's fault. I was working in Northwestern Mutual at the time, and Mike did a pretty good job of pressuring these new agents to get involved civically, and Rotary was one way of doing that, but there were so many of them that I couldn't get in. So I'm thrilled about that chance.
Dan, I'm not on the membership committee, but this could be your year, brother. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, we have them on the schedule today for this first reading, but we need to change that, just let me know. I'm just kidding. And I'm so happy to have you here, all of our guests, but I know you were in Rotary Club when it was the convention center. I hope on that our place has changed, but the heart behind Rotary, I hope you find in the meetings is still the same. So thank you all for being here. Moving on, real quick, photography, we got a help wanted ad that we wanted to throw up here. We were looking for about 4 or 5 individuals who would be willing to be on a rotation, taking photos throughout the meeting that we would put them on social media, in our bulletin, on DAC TV. And as you know, in the world we live in nowadays, you have to have an online presence. So we were looking for people, you don't have to have fancy phone, camera, you can use your iPhone as long as it takes sharp pictures, as well as if you serve, it can count as a bonus makeup. So that's a little bit of extra into the pot there. So, please, if you are interested, reach out to Linda. She can get you in contact with the image, committee, and we can get you connected with that. It was actually funny hearing from Mike. He found out about Rotary from a TikTok. So, I mean, it just shows that, oh, wow, I mean, Rotary's out there and in the different platforms. Moving on, we have a foundation update and Paul Harrisfellow, presentation from Randy Thomas. Randy, come on up, brother.
Thank you, President Harrison.
So I have a happy follow-up to my presentation for last week.
So last week I had the honor of recognizing a few of our Rotary members who have achieved new milestones as Paul Harris Fellows. As a quick reminder, and for especially for those of you who are guests or new, what is a Paul Harris Fellow? That is members who have made a personal financial contribution directly to the foundation, or somebody has made a contribution on their behalf over a period of time that works for them. So at least $1,000. So you can make a donation over a 2-month period at $1,000. You can do it over a 2-year period. And then as a distinction, the Paul Harris Paul Harris Society, for those who have let their intentions be known, that they're going to make a $1,000 donation directly to the foundation every single year. So just that's the difference between a fellow and those who are members of the Paul Harris Society. Now that said, happy to say, I read a few names. Sharon got the milestones last week. One of those individuals is with us, so I thought I would take this opportunity to bring him up. If you would, help me recognize Mr. Randy Proctor to the front to receive it. There you go, Randy. Okay, and then I want to take this opportunity to thank all of Paul Harris Fellows or Society members. What you do is critical to the foundation and the impact that you can achieve. And I'll just share on a quick personal note, I have decided to personally become a Paul Harris Fellow. I have made my completing contribution, donation online to the foundation. Anybody needs any help to make this online donation, let me know, and I'll tell you exactly what not to do. Thank you all.
Thank you, Randy. Let's give another round of applause for his first, +1, so appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much. All right, next up on the list, we have our very own Demonte Sanders for a membership update.
All righty, good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? So, you know how this routine goes. How are we doing today? There we go. Happy Monday. Glad to be here. But with that being said, you know, one thing I love about membership, we are doing our first reading today. So Dan, may you come on up? We want to get you in today. It's a brand new day. I heard good things from those who wait, so we are happy to have them. Just to give you guys a brief introduction, Dan Daniel has been married to his wife Tracy Daniel for over 15 years. Dan received his Bachelor of Science degree from UNC Greensboro and received his MBA from the UNC Chapel Hill. Big. Well, it's okay though. You be almost, we have a lot of state fans in here, so we welcome you in. But that being said, Dan has had a successful corporate sales career with over 33 years of experience. He was in industries such as banking, which is my industry, industrial gas, but also during this time, he was running successful wealth management and with Northwestern Mutual before he moved into the nonprofit sector. Now with 10 years of nonprofit experience, he has leadership experience in roles with Carolina Youth Development Center and Charleston Parks Conservancy. His current role is basically Director of Advancement for Children's Cancer Partners. This nonprofit focuses on children with cancer and families who live in North and South Carolina. I'm talking to Dan earlier, he's always on the road traveling, so, congratulations to me. Dan was also a part of the Charleston Breakfast Club, as well as a part of the Wilmington Rotary Club, where he served as co-chair of the Rotary Youth Exchange Program for the club. One of Dan's favorite hobbies to do is actually go biking, reading, and also too, we might have a new golf member because his favorite hobby is also golfing. So, guys, Dan here for his first reading. We're happy to have you here today, okay?
Perfect. Thank you, Devontae. Dan, so happy to have you here, connecting with Rotary. A couple of things, new member orientation is going to be September 24th, which we highlighted, as well as our next service social on August 28th. That gives us plenty of time. A couple of weeks ago, I said this is a great opportunity for you to take out your phone, put it on your Google Calendar, August 28th, 5 p.m. at the Willow Rooftop. We're going to have a great service social there. All right, we got some member spotlights. This is something that I've started doing, spotlighting and highlighting our members for the good work and the things that they're doing in their community. And so a couple of things that we want to talk about. Tommy, do you want to come up and speak on the first thing that we're going to talk about, which is the breakfast? This is kind of impromptu, but Tommy was the mastermind behind this, and we had such a phenomenal time. So I'd love for him to give a couple of words.
Yeah, sure. Basically, we wanted to try something new. The idea was around that we bring in new members, and sometimes they don't know who are their best connections, or who to plug into, or what committees to serve on, or what places make their heartbeat thump. Why did they come to Rotary? Those types of things. So what we did was we got together, threw out a random invite and announced it last Monday. And like 12 people showed up, which was awesome. So we had a great time. People talked a lot about our Rotary passions, but also shared about our families and our kids, talked about work, what we do for a living, what kind of people we like to work with, all that kind of thing. We shared a big breakfast at Big Ed's. If you haven't been to Big Ed's, it's a gut buster. One of the guys sat down and said, "What kind of place is this?" I said, "It's kind of a trough." It's full up, you know, but we had a great time, and this is something that Lamont and I have been talking about, possibly looking at for like a quarterly breakfast where we can bring all new members from that prior quarter and that they can get to know folks. But it's basically trying to make new members connected to their Rotary community. That's the idea of the whole thing. Good stuff. Thank you, Harrison.
Thank you for giving that. All the good, it still gives me a reason to go there. Next, I wanted to highlight our very own David Forrest for graduating from the North Carolina Bankers School. David was up in Boone last week, finishing up his senior year. Is that correct? So I graduated the year before, so that's the only thing that I was a senior at David at. So, but congratulations to you, sir. Everyone give David a round of applause for his completion. And the last one here, so Tommy and I, we go to the same CrossFit gym, and the CrossFit gym is walking distance from my house, so I walk there in the mornings. I knew that this morning, the morning I took this picture, they were going to be running by my house, so me and my daughter got out on the front and waited for Tommy to run by. And this is Tommy running in my neighborhood. And you can see him, he is just a champion of the world, high energy, running. I hate running. This is what I look like at the end of that meeting, that run. So anyways, wanted to just highlight that for Tommy, and you just forget, don't ask me to go on a run, because that's what I'll look like. All right, moving on. We have a service update with Kevin Summers about our upcoming Christmas in July.
Thank you, President Harrison. Yes, I appreciate it. Thus far, I think I've got at least one person on all the shifts bringing this Thursday at Walmart. So again, it's in Wake Forest. Please make mental note of that. Some of you may show up at the old location and realize there's nobody there. There's sign-ups still available. I encourage you to sign up for the reason that Harrison just mentioned, for fellowship. New members, it's a great chance to spend a half hour, an hour with a member of our club that you may not otherwise get to know on a deeper level. So I encourage you. Insecurity in Wayne County through the Salvation Army. And then, yes, question. I'm sorry? Oh, it starts, I think the first shift started at 10:30 and it goes till 6:30. So look for there's a sign-in genius link that Linda again sent out today. The other project that's gonna happen in August, Richard's taking, it's called books, laundry basket books in laundry. The idea is to create children's books in a basket, like a little library you see in neighborhoods, where guests that are, or customers that are visiting laundromats could take children's books home. We're gonna take this on as a project. The ask that I have today is if you know anybody personally that owns or manages a laundromat here in Raleigh, we've reached out to several, but we haven't gotten any permission yet to put our little baskets in their laundromats. I'd appreciate it though. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody. Christmas is July. I think by Thursday, it's supposed to start getting a little colder. We'll tell ourselves that. Don't think about the 100-degree weather. It's a great opportunity to connect with other Rotarians no matter what. Moving on, we have fundraiser update from our John Cates.
Thank you, President Harrison. Hey, I'm really excited. We are gonna have a committee meeting, fundraising committee meeting tonight from 5 to 6 to talk about the Rotary Club of Raleigh's America 250 Oak City Tree Campaign. And this is gathering a lot of interest. We're in conversations right now with media sponsors. We're in conversation with the city on how that we understand we're working together. So most excitingly, everyone in this room is going to be on a fundraising team. Next week at our August meeting, the first meeting of August, we're going to have an announcement of the teams and the team captains. And I'm really excited that we already have 2 team captains arranged. And we're going to need 1 more team captain. So I can recruit someone or someone can volunteer and reach out to me. If you're passionate about the city of Raleigh and about trees and the future generations enjoying the shade from these trees, reach out to me. I want to thank Surrey Roberts for sending me a book about oak trees. I've learned in this book that the oak tree is one of the most important plants on planet Earth, much less Raleigh. The oak tree supports more species of caterpillars than any other tree, and wildlife, many birds enjoy eating those caterpillars. So it's very important, this campaign. It's going to be high visibility for the Rotary Club of Raleigh. You're going to be very proud of your club and the work we do for our city. So let's get started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. He did mention, and this is just another reminder, the fundraising committee meeting is tonight, from 5 to 6. Contact Linda if you do not have the Zoom link, but I know she sent that out, I don't think already. But anyways, if you don't have it, contact Linda, she'll get you the Zoom meeting. And I know John looks forward to seeing you tonight on the committee meeting via Zoom. Next, we got the raffle, so John, come back up here, brother.
Thank you. We have a raffle today. It's not the biggest one we've done in a while. And we're kind of competing raffle guys, right? You're running a raffle, I'm running a raffle. I have a prize, I have a cash prize today, which is part of the proceeds. Would you be willing to draw the ticket and read the number?
Gonna make a friend.
825-767.
Sir.
767.
My new friend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Congratulations, sir. Moving on, next, we have our Dimensional Alliance red bucket. So the red bucket's on the table. If you have any spare change, please put in that, and it goes in towards us supporting the Dimensional Alliance of North Carolina, as well as Happy Dogs. And our
Anybody happy to be here today? Thank you, President. Yes, sir. Keep it back.
I have $5 for my horrible daughter Amelia, who turns 5 today. I said daughter, granddaughter.
All right, anybody else? There's glad to be here. Go Hill. Thank you. Let's be careful.
Let's go. I just had, I'm sorry. Oh, did you have some?
He's gonna give him.
Picked on it because he's.
Well, Bill, you
That's Go Heels, so Donald or Go Heels. Okay. They scared. All right, birthdays and anniversaries. I think this is the third week. We don't have any birthdays or anniversaries, so, there's nothing there. Moving on, our upcoming meetings. Next week, we have our, North Carolina Treasurer, Brad Reiner, coming to speak to us, so please make sure to be here for that meeting. Should be a great presentation. On the 11th, we have Gary Green. He's the owner of CEO of Green Resources. He's going to be talking about making authentic connections. He's also a fellow Rotarian, so it'll be a great, great presentation there. On August 18th, we have no meeting. It's our midsummer break. Then on August 25th, we have Michael Haley. He's the executive director of the Wake County Economic Development, and he'll be providing an update on economic development, big projects in the works for Wake County itself. So make sure to mark the calendar for those. Finally, we're moving on to our featured presentation. Today, I have the honor of introducing Tom Lamont, who's the Director of Community Engagement for the Boys and Girls Home of North Carolina. Tom is a resident of Wilmington. He was educated at the University of North Carolina in Wilmington, where he received the Bachelor of Arts in Speech Communication in 1980. He continued his studies in broadcast journalism, and in 1982 received the Master's of Art in Radio and Television from the University of Mississippi. After a 19-year career in radio and television, he came to Boys and Girls Home of North Carolina for the first time in July 1998. He stayed in that position for 2.5 years, returned to his alma mater, UNC Wilmington, as the Assistant Director of all Alumni Relations. In March of 2004, he returned to the Boys and Girls Home until 2011, when he left to take care of his aging parents. He then worked 5 years for the YMCA in Wilmington as the Resource Development Officer. Most recently, he worked for the Wilmington Sharks baseball team, where he was a Director of Community Relations. He has now returned to the Boys and Girls Home as the Director of Community and Engagement. He is married to his wife Donna and has one girl, future son-in-law, and 3 grandchildren. Very good. Tom, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Hopefully, third time is the charm, right? Third time is the charm. I've been back for 2 years, and we've worked on so many things in these last couple of years since I've been back, and our staff have really worked to make it feel like home for Hugh and others that are with us. And so I'm delighted to be here today. Linda, thank you so much for inviting us to be with you to share who we are and how we've changed. Let me take you back to the very beginning in 1954. We're 71 years old, taking care of children. Mr. A.D. Peacock was a funeral director in Whiteville, North Carolina, and he had a vision of what was going to happen to children, especially when they lost a mom or a dad, because it was a funeral director. Back in the day, of course, they had funerals in homes. And on this one particular funeral, he went to the home and he noticed certainly poverty, dirt on the floor. Children didn't seem to have a whole lot there. On this day, there was food provided by the church, and the family were there to honor their mother. 4 children in that home. Mother had passed away, father was disabled, not able to work. And Mr. Peacock thought, what will happen to these children? Today, they'll be taken care of. What about tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? How will they have a chance? How will they have hope? How will they be loved? How will they have a chance to be successful in life? And Mr. Peacock and the other founders of the home had a vision, and it's incredible what they did. Think about this. They went statewide to 6, not just 1, 6 different organizations. Of course, after World War II, everyone wanted to give back. Civic pride. Coming back from World War II, we wanted to see how we can get involved. Some of that generation, you guys know what I'm talking about. Civic clubs were booming then. And so Mr. Peacock himself was a civitan and a lion. And so they were able to get property in beautiful Lake Walpole, beautiful campus, beautiful lake, beautiful area of North Carolina. And they were able to start with the first home is our administration building now, Flemington Hall, the first 5 doors stayed there. But they got a group committee and they went statewide. They started with Civitan. Civitan built the first cottage in 1958. Again, they had to go in front of these organizations and lobby for these groups to come and build a cottage. A cottage on our campus. Of course, you know their main mission is the visually impaired, but they wanted to take care of kids as well. In 1962, it was the JCs. In 64, it was Kiwanis. In 1966, your Rotary Cottage was built on our campus. In 1968, the Outlet was built, the last of the boys' cottages. Back in the day, there were 16. Think about this, dude, 16 boys in each cottage, 4 in a bedroom. Not bunk beds. I found out recently they were single beds together with a house mom and a cook. It was like an orphanage. They stayed 6, 7, 8, 9 years of their childhood. Today, on average, our kids who are age 7 to 18 in our residential program come to us from Department of Social Services, 15 to 20 some counties. They've been removed from family for one reason or another. And they come and they stay with us, but now on average, they only stay 10 to 12 months. Which we could do a lot in that time period, but we could do more if the state looked at group homes as being a priority. In the state of North Carolina, the first thought is, and it should be. I mean, we should have the opportunity to have every child at home. But in reality, for many of our kids, it's not safe. For many of our kids, they've been through abuse, neglect, you name it, they've been through it. They're survivors. These kids, all they need is structure. They need love. For some of our kids, just having a safe place to put their head down at night. Can you imagine? Think about that with your children and your grandchildren. That for some of our kids, just being safe at night, having a safe place. For some kids, when they first come into our program, we see that they're taking food back to their room. What does that tell us? It tells us that they didn't know when their next meal was coming. They wanted to make sure they had more. And so we have to teach to that. And so the vision that Mr. Peacock had on the founders was brilliant in terms of taking care of children. Here we are 71 years later, still doing the work, but it's changed. It has changed a lot. Alex, please come up for a minute. Alex kind of briefly told you about our teaching parent model. If you could share with this group how the model works, what skills you work on, and how children really grow as they first come in. Because a lot of times these children, because of what they've been through, they're not coming in happy. They're coming in scared. They're coming in, every adult in their life up to this point has let them down. And so your job, which is not easy, you use the model though, and it works.
Yes, sir. So when we have a resident here at Boys and Girls Home, they are started out on the 5 basic skills that we have, basic life skills to help them throughout their life. And those are going to be greeting skills is a big one, ask permission, following instructions, accepting feedback, and accepting no as an answer. There's other parts to this, and we also have a lot more skills, but that's our basic 5. And basically what we do is we really try to help them strengthen those basic skills that you would think would be an automatic and they should know this, but in a lot of cases it's not. So that's something that we work on, and after a short amount of time, maybe they're showing strengths and we need to find a different skill to work out. That's where I kind of come in and I review the case for each individual, and we might make changes to those skills. And we might say, hey, you've mastered this skill, and now it's time to let's look at this skill and see if we can master this as well. And it's just a really great program. It works. It works if used properly. It's great. And There's nothing else I would rather be doing in my life right now than working at BTH and working with these kids. It's the most rewarding thing I could ever ask.
And the work that they do every day, they have an individual plan for every young person. Our program focuses on family. And Mark Murphy, our president, that has come back in the last 2 years, when he came back, he noticed that they were eating cafeteria style. Everyone would go to the cafeteria to eat, say, no. Families eat with their family. So in the Rotary Cottage, the boys, we have our younger boys in Rotary, Hugh's in there, and I'll let him talk about his experience in Rotary. But they now eat as a group, Monday through Friday. We don't have cooks in the cottages anymore. But we have a cafeteria, food's prepared there, it's delivered to each of those cottages for dinner. When they're at school, of course, they go to the cafeteria for lunch, because we have our own school on campus, Thomas Academy. It's a charter school. We have a lot of retired teachers who have come back to know that we're working with kids that are behind. Think about these kids. They've been passed around from one family member to another in some cases. They've been in and out of foster care. And I'll talk about our foster care program in a minute. But a lot of these kids have been through the foster care system. It didn't work. Because with the state, the foster care system is the next priority. First home, then foster care, and then group home is the last resort. Well, we can do so many good things with our young people to give them a chance. If the state would see that we've been doing it for 71 years, we have a chance to really make a difference. Q, come here. Q is a young man that I've gotten to know. He's a great spirit, always a positive attitude. And I know you prepared some statements. So why don't you prepare? You prepared it. So I'm going to let you do what you do, and then I'll ask you a few questions. Okay? Sound good? All right. Speaking.
Hello, y'all. My name is Kwame. When I first got here, I gone to Thomas Academy and I joined the Rotary Interaction Club. That was different. I ain't never joined a club in school. I was in dance. That was about it. But during that time that I was in the club, we did a lot of giving back to the community. And one time we went to a church, we gave back food, and I'll never forget it because some people are struggling out there and it's hard. Real is hard. So that just hurt and made me smile. But being in Rotary College, that showed me that you can have fun and live life like you be big. And you don't have to worry about when the next meals come in. You just can live. I wish that I started in a group home first, then went through the system, because it really opened my eyes to the community and
And I guess at Thomas Academy, you get a lot of individual attention. There's small classrooms, right? And at school, you don't have to pick one topic, but what are some of your favorite things about Thomas Academy and share with us? I think you also play a little basketball too, right?
my favorite thing about Thomas Academy would be that it's the teachers, like they just really want to see you strive and do better and get smarter. And basketball, I played it, I liked it, not my sport. But the coach, he so drove me to be something that I didn't know I could be. And that was like really, really amazing for me.
Thank you so much. Please do. So while we're focusing on residential programming, we're working with kids age 7 to 18. We also have teen moms. We have 3 cottages on our campus that have 3 teen moms and 3 babies, or it could be a 3-year-old. We have an older child right now. They can stay with us until they're 21. We provide them with the opportunity to get instruction on how to be a mom, how to be independent at some point. Can you imagine starting your life out at 14, 15, 16, 17 with a child, with no family support? We're their family support. So when they come, we're teaching them to prepare, if they come in pregnant, we prepare them for the big day. We work with them on how they can be independent at some point in time. We have a great relationship with Southeastern Community College so that we have opportunities to send them over there. We have one young lady, or a couple of young ladies now that are doing welding at Southeastern. They're going to learn a skill, be able to support their child. That program, we have 3 cottages, up to 3 girls and 3 children in those. In our residential program now, we don't have 16 in the cottage, we have 8. There's 2 in a bedroom. So residential care, Q just moved from the Rotary Cottage to the older boys cottage now, it's the Lions Cottage. So we have boys and Lions, boys in Rotary, girls in Optimus, girls in JC's. Lake House cottages, the 2 cottages for the teen moms are 2 additional cottages that were built later in our history. They're aging too, but not quite as old. And so we've done a lot to adjust to needs that change. When needs have changed, boys and girls homes has changed. We have found out also that if we go into homes, we can do some preventive work. We have teams in Columbus and Bladen County now that do in-home services. DSS will recognize that a family with a 14-year-old, for example, having problems. How can we help? We're sending our staff in, just like Department of Social Services. We have staff that go into those homes, work with those families. They need help with parenting skills. A lot of the parents of these children who end up in group care didn't have the skills to be a parent. If we're able to even get them home, maybe mom's turned her life around and she's working now. Typically they're not going home to a mom and dad. They're going home to a single female. Let's say mom has really worked and she really wants to have her son back. And she's really worked hard to do that. If she's willing to work with us to do the same things we're working with her son on, then we have a chance for a good reunification. Over the years, when we sent them back home and the parents were reluctant to work with us to try to do the same things at home that we're working with them on, what happens? They end up coming right back. It doesn't work. And so we're now doing in-home services to provide. So we're changing our program, teen moms, residential care, foster care started 25 years ago, boys and girls homes. Because the state, again, foster care is the second best opportunity. We now have classes in 20+ counties. We have staff just like DSS that we send them in cars to go into those homes, work with those families. We have an opportunity to also provide a forever home for some of these children. In the last 20 years, we've done over 275 adoptions. Keep in mind that in our foster care program, it's younger, mostly younger kids. It's easier to find foster care parents for a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old. It's more difficult. We have some, but not enough to take care of a teenager. It's true across the state of North Carolina. There are kids sleeping in DSS offices every night because there's not enough foster care parents in this state. Out of those 275 adoptions, only one, this is a stat we're very, very proud of. There's only one family that's not still together. That's incredible. Because we spoil our foster care families. Our staff spoil them because it's so hard to find them. To weed out the people that are doing it for the wrong reason. Some people will do this for money. We find the passionate people. Our staff are dedicated to getting to the people that really care. We have a foster care family that has multiple children with disabilities. It's a beautiful family. And they've adopted those children forever home for some kids. Finally, structure, finally, stability. That's what our program is all about love, about care. And then finally, the last program that I want to share with you, we've been doing it for less time, but you have a child advocacy center here in Raleigh, I'm sure. Child advocacy center, anybody familiar with that here in Raleigh? It's a partnership with the DA's office, law enforcement, and DSS. A partnership that is a place for a child and a family that has had abuse to come in for services. To come in and we work with them. Can you imagine? Because many times the person that has abused the child was close to the family. A family member that has abused them, a friend of the family, a neighbor. Many times it's somebody you didn't expect, and it changes the whole family. Once, this is okay, can I tell the story of the Bladen, the Bladen bus driver story in Bladen County? This won't upset you at all. About a year ago, maybe eight, I don't know, time flies. It's almost a year ago. The DA's office in Bladen County, our child advocacy center is actually in Whiteville, 11 miles away from our campus. In that facility, we do a full physical examination of the child. We do a forensic interview with the child. It's recorded. The child only has to tell their story, but they have to tell it once. It's recorded. Members of the DA's office from either Bladen, Columbus, or Robinson, or law enforcement member and DSS are all there for the interview. The child tells the story, our staff know how to do it. And we give healing to those families and provide them services. We do a full physical examination of the child by our medical staff. And we're very busy there. We're seeing 20 new families a month. Isn't that heartbreaking? Isn't that terrible? 20 new families, 3 counties, but 20 new families. So when the DA's office in Bladen County called, Daniel said, I don't know how we could do that. I need 24 to 48 hours to figure out the schedule because the DA said, I've got 9 families. Can you interview them? There's been a bus driver in Bladen County who physically abused children when they got on the bus. These little girls got on the bus and he was inappropriately touching these little girls. Can you imagine what that does to a family? And so Daniel was able to work the schedule. We've got those families in. That gentleman is now behind bars, $4.5 million bond. He's not going anywhere. And hopefully that monster will never be able to get out again and hurt a child. That's the work that we're doing. It's changed. We're in so many different areas, and we could not do this work without Rotary and our partners. And I thank you for all that you do. Thank you for supporting what we do, the programs that we provide. And I'll share this final story because it's about, before I came back this last time, one of the teen moms had just finished, I guess it was the summer before I got there in September, did this beautiful mural in the cafeteria. And this young lady, I was told later, was when she first came into the program, she said, I've got my 6-month-old child. I can take care of him. I don't need you. I don't need family. I can do this myself. 6 months later, they discovered that she was an artist. Very talented, really, really nice work. And they said, you can paint this mural on the cafeteria wall if you want. You have the whole wall. She laughed at him because she would get in trouble for writing on walls and painting on things she wasn't supposed to. And so she took on the project. After it was over, we saw this beautiful wall with sunflowers, a field of sunflowers, rich orange and brown and gold in the mural. She worked on it that summer, some days more than others. Some days she was at Southeastern Community College going to school. Some days she was working part-time. Some days she had to spend time with her child and her staff. Guess it's time to stop. But she said she chose sunflowers because you never see one sunflower growing by itself. She got it. She understood family. She understood that each of those sunflowers represented my house mom, my teacher at Southeastern, the people that were working with me from Boys and Girls Home. Again, thank you for being part of our family at Boys and Girls Home in North Carolina. Thank you so much for having us. While the train went by and hit the whistle, I think we have time for a couple questions before the next train comes. Anybody? Yes, sir.
What can the Rotary Club do all you did on further?
Obviously, there's lots of opportunities. Today, I'm selling ducks. We're having a duck race in Wilmington to raise money for new vans. I will tell you that the Rotary leadership has just designated money from the legacy fund that Rotary set up at Boys and Girls Homes. We're going to be using money for the Rotary to get their own van. Because the money that we're raising, we're helping, all of our Civic Club partners are buying and selling tickets. And last year we raised enough money for 2 vans and we put all the logos on it. But Rotary said, we'd like to get our van for our boys with just the Rotary logo. And the leadership in Rotary statewide and on our board have just approved that, 62,000. So we're shopping. They're not cheap and they're hard to get new ones. So we're hoping. Last year we were able to get 2 vans from Enterprise. They weren't brand new, but they were low mileage. And we've got your logo and other logos on it. But those are ways to help us with that project in the future. Come to Rotary Day in March. I know some of you got, how many last year? Oh, come on. I want to hit 100 members. We've been close 2 years in a row. I need to get 100 Rotarians there. It's always in March. I can't tell you what date it is this year. Come and see the property. If you're going to the beach and want to come, call me. We'll set up a time for you to see if you can come in March, but come and see what we're doing. If you want to do a drive for school supplies, if you want to do anything in terms of, you come up with the idea, we'll work with you. But we can give you some more ideas. Thank you for that question. Is that it? Yes, thank you. The ages of the boys in the Rotary Cottage now, you can.
8 to 15 right now.
Right. Are you on the boys and then up to 15, and then in Lions now it's pretty much 16 to 18 in there. We also, another thing, I will share this with you that's different. Years ago, we always had siblings, brothers and sisters, but not many. But now we are working hand in hand with Department of Social Services to keep kids together, keep siblings together. We have multiple sibling groups now on campus. I remember back when I worked the first time in the 90s, remember, I've been to Boys and Girls Homes 3 times. Back in the 90s, I remember talking to kids that would tell me, I've got a brother in this group home in the middle part of the state. I've got a sister in foster care, another brother in foster care, and my little sister is back at home. They were all split up. Today, we're able to keep sibling groups together. They may not be in the same cottage, but they can see each other every day. That's important. Thank you.
Then this is your 3rd year presenting to us, or the clubs, or the organization. This is something that we need to hear on an annual basis, because we get so busy in our lives that we become blind. We all have blind spots to the need that's in our community and the great work that you guys are doing. Alex, thank you for everything that you're doing. Q, thank you for presenting. One of the things that Q said, the biggest takeaway for me, I think he summed up perfectly what you all do. At the home, you just get to live, which is awesome. So you said it perfectly. So thank you, Q. Couple things. I don't know if you've got one of these. There's a lot of treasures in the world, like the Mona Lisa. Something that not many people know about is a hidden treasure is the Rotary Club of Raleigh mug with our 4-way test on the back. So we want to provide you with that, as well as one of our members just did a harvest of cucumbers and wanted to provide you with some cucumbers as well. That's one of the more creative gifts that we had, but so thank you.
It's summertime.
That's right. Thank you so much, Tom. Everybody, have a long day. Real quick reminder, next week we are having the state treasurer here, so please make sure to be here in full support of the service. For guests, I know you probably received some information on the way out, but we have some pamphlets over here. If you did grab something, it kind of goes through what it would look like to join the Rotary Club, and some information specifically about our club, so please make sure to grab that and reach out to Lamont or myself. And lastly, we finish with a four-way test every week. The four-way test, I love it, and the reason why I think we end with it is it reminds us before we leave this meeting of what we're supposed to be doing when we go out to our communities and how we're supposed to live, right? So I thought it would be an honor to start letting Rotarians in our club lead us out with the four-way test. And so I asked Charlie to be the first one to do that this week. He has meant a lot to my Rotary journey. So I'd love for Charlie to please lead us as a club out with a four-way test.
All right, right there, let's stay.
The truth.
Sir.
Fair to all concerned.
Sir.
And with that, I'm dismissed.